the shoreline, feeling every breeze, smoking stuff and feeling fine.
Alright, so as you could tell, that video that you just saw was all created in Final Cut Pro 10, of course, with just some minor adjustments to the video clips. And I got the video clips over at VideoBlocks, and if you guys don't know what VideoBlocks is an affordable subscription-based stock media site that gives you unlimited access to premium stock footage. Some benefits are that you have unlimited download to the library of 100,000 plus HD video clips, After Effects templates, and motion backgrounds. And the good thing is that everything is 100% royalty-free, unrestricted usage rights for personal and commercial projects. You guys can start your 7-day free trial. The link for that will be in the description, so you guys can check that out. We're going to be looking at color correction, text, music, a letterbox effect that you can see here using an offset keystroke that I used here, as you can see. How it's just panning down. That's what we're going to be doing here in this tutorial. So let's go ahead and begin. Give your project a name. Where it says video properties, yours is going to be a little bit different, but it's going to say custom or automatic, something like that. Choose custom. And the format we want to go ahead and use is 1080p HD. You want to select the correct resolution that you filmed. So say you have a Canon Rebel T3i or whatever camera you have, and you filmed it in 720, you want to select 720p HD. If you filmed it in 1080, select 1080p, and it makes the video more smooth, and Final Cut Pro processes the video a little bit faster. So for the resolution, make sure that's 1920 by 1080. Make sure it matches, 1080p for the format. And the rate, we want to keep that at 24 frames per second. If you filmed in 30, keep it at 30. But for the film look, we want to select 24 because that's what they film. Most movies film in 24. Audio channels, we're going to select stereo. Audio sample rate 48 kilohertz. You could select 44.1 kilohertz if you want a smaller file size. So render format, we're going to just keep it at Apple ProRes 422. Click OK, and you're just going to have your new project here. Of course, I already created it. So the next thing to do is import your footage. First thing we want to go ahead and do is add a letterbox. Now that's going to create black bars on the top and the bottom of the video clip. To do that, simply click right here to bring up the effects. You're going to go ahead and type in letterbox right under here for the search, and then you're going to have letterbox. Click and drag that on top of your footage, and I already have it here. So click on your footage and then go right here to the inspector. Once you bring up the inspector, you're going to have where it says effects, and you're going to have letterbox. Where it says letterbox, you can change the aspect ratio. Okay, right now it's at 1.85 to 1. We're going to select 2.35 to 1 ratio, or you could do 2.55 to 1 ratio, which is standard film. In this case, I'm going to do 2.55 to 1 ratio. The offset, okay, so to create the panning effect that I did, all I did is I went to the very beginning and I curated a keyframe. Click on the little plus icon here and go all the way, because I don't want this video to be very long, especially with this clip. I'm just gonna go in the middle right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and you don't have to click the keyframe again, but all you have to do is drag it down if you want the video to pan down, or you can drag it up if you want. Actually going to set this all the way up like that. So I could see the trees and the horizon. And then later here, let's say here, I want the offset to look down. So I want it to kind of go down like that. So now I curated a keyframe. So now if I play it, so it stops here, right here. I think it's there. So I'm gonna go back. Okay. So now I'm gonna go back here. And if I play it, you're gonna see, if I push play, you can see that it creates an offset path. And this is an awesome effect that you could do, which you pretty much see it in most movies at the beginning, okay? And that's what we're trying to do here, okay? We're gonna do the same thing. Though, if you want to do the same exact thing that you have applied to all of the clips, what you can do is you can copy the effects from that video clip by going over to Edit, Copy, and then you go to the video you want to paste the effects with, and then when you go over to Edit and Paste, now you have 3 options. You can paste the attributes, paste effects, and paste as a connected clip. We're gonna go and paste effects, okay? And that applied the same effects. That means it's gonna apply everything that you have applied to the previous thing. We don't want to do that yet, so we're going to go over to edit and paste attributes, which allows you to paste certain elements that you have applied to that first footage. So where it says video attributes, you can select everything, or you can only select the letterbox. So say I only want to copy the same thing that I did with the letterbox, I can copy that onto this footage here without going over and doing the same thing, and I can just click paste. Now where it says keyframe, keyframes, you could do maintain timing. You want to make sure that's checked or selected, and we're gonna go ahead and click paste. And there you go. Look how fast that happened. Pretty cool, huh? So I can push play, and you can see that it applied the same thing, and I don't want that to happen. So very simple. We're gonna go over to the inspector again, and in the inspector you're gonna have the letterbox with this. We're just gonna close or delete the keyframes, and what we're gonna do is I'm going to pan up. So to do this, simply click the key frame here, the plus icon, and again somewhere in the middle, because I don't want this video to be too long, I'm gonna go ahead and drag this the other way to the left so it goes up, because there's our horizon. So now if I go ahead and play it, you're gonna see that it's slowly going up, which is what we want. Okay, so you can see that it's going up and then it just suddenly stops, or it goes all the way down, which is not what we want technically. So we go push play, or that is a cool effect maybe that you want to do. And then it's gonna switch over to this video clip, and I want to go ahead and add a letterbox. So I don't want to apply the same effects that I did with the letterbox on my other videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and just type in letterbox to find it much quicker, and make sure it's on all, and then click this and drag it onto our footage here. Same thing, go into the inspector, change that to 2.55, and the offset. You don't have to create a keyframe, by the way. You can just move however you want the effect to be here. So I'm just gonna keep it like right here. I think that looks good. I don't know, I barely changed it, to be honest. Maybe right there. I think that looks good. So this is gonna go here, blah blah blah, and I want to cut this down a little bit because I don't want the footage to be too long. And by the way, the video has been sped up. It's time lapse. So here's another cool little footage that we have here. So I want to copy this, so I'm gonna go to edit, copy, edit, and then paste effects, and you're done. That's how fast you could do it. But I want to see the horizon, not just here. So I could change that by going over here, and the effect, I want it to be like that. So now if I play it, you're gonna see that we've changed it. So I think that looks pretty cool. Same idea here. We're just gonna go ahead and paste this. So Command V, whoops, not Command V, edit and paste attributes. If you just press Command V, it's actually gonna paste whatever you have copied. So don't do that. And I'm gonna go ahead and again change this here like so. And I'm gonna cut down here. And this one, I think I already added that one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay, now we're almost done here. So this one here as well, I'm gonna do the same thing, edit, paste effects, and I want this to pan down, looking at Michael Jackson's little star, or Hollywood star, I believe that's what it's called. I don't know, I'm not from California, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm gonna go ahead and make this shorter, the clip, and I'm gonna go over to the inspector again, offset. I want to create a keyframe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it from here, from the very top, create a keyframe. So click on the plus icon, and I want to go and drag it all the way down. Okay. Now I'm going to move the offset, and notice how I just click and drag it automatically creates a keyframe for you. That's what you want to do. So now, or that's what happens. So if I push play, you're going to see that it's going to go down and just focus on this, because that's our main attraction for this video clip. It's time to add the color correction. So to do that, it's very simple. Just go over to the inspector, go down to where it says color, and you're gonna have correction 1, and it's gonna be blue. It's gonna be highlighted. We're gonna go ahead and click the little arrow next to that, and then we're gonna go over to color. And here you can change the global, the shadows, midtones, and highlights. We don't want to change the global colors because that's just gonna change the whole entire thing. So I rarely ever use that. So I'm gonna make this a little bit more warm. So I'm gonna drag this down just a little bit. Again, you don't wanna change this a lot because it's not gonna look so good. And I'm gonna drag this up a little bit just to give it some blue midtones, okay? And then we're gonna change the highlights and drag this down just a little bit. So the saturation, we're not going to mess with that. We're going to go over to exposure, and we're going to change the shadows here. I'm going to bring that up just a little bit, just give it a little bit of a vintage effect. And we're going to go ahead and decrease the midtones just a tad and increase the highlights to bring up the brightness just a little bit. So now we can pretty much do that with all of the clips, and it's very, very simple because we want to keep one color correction for the whole entire footage. Unless, like, say this one is like because it's more blue, or say this one, unless one footage the color is very dark or bright, you're gonna have to adjust that manually. So make sure we have on our first clip here, we're gonna go to edit and copy. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight all of these, and we're gonna go over to edit and paste attributes. Okay, we don't want to paste everything because we don't want to do that. We just want to go ahead and apply the color. Okay, so you can see that there's 5 clips. So from this, so what we've done here, the effects, we're going to paste it onto 5 clips, which is the ones we have selected, and we're only going to focus on the color. Okay, and then we're just going to click paste. So now all the footage has the same color correction that we have applied to the first footage. Again, see, this one is a little bit too bright, so you could always change that, but I'm not going to in this case because it's just going to take too much time. So we're done with that, and now it's time to create our text. Now I'm only creating a text in the very beginning because this is where most people want to know how do you apply, or how do you get that film look like they do in the movies when they first start off. You know, so you see the movie's title. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the text. Okay, you're going to click here where it says there's going to be a big T. Click on that, and it's going to bring up the titles. We're going to go ahead and create a custom title here. So we're going to just click and drag that on top of our first footage. And we're going to go ahead and click the inspector once more. Okay, and we're going to go over to the text tab, and we're going to go ahead and change the name of this. We're going to name it Los Angeles because why not? And for Los Angeles, and for this effect, right now it's going to be set to normal. We're going to go ahead and change that to I think mine was ultra light, I'm not sure, or minimal. You know, you could do an effect like that, but it's going to be hard to read. So I think mine was on condensed. Yeah, it was condensed. And we're going to go ahead and select the font. Now the font I'm going to be using is probably going to look a little bit different from yours. You guys can, I'll leave a download for the font in the description so you guys can use it if you want. It's called Kairos, yeah. And you can see it's kind of hard to read. So I'm going to drag this down, press Command Enter to accept the changes. I'm going to just drag this down here and snap into the middle. If you guys don't have that, just go over to View, and then snapping should be on. So now you can see that the font is, the text is way too big. So we're going to decrease the size just like that. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste the same effect that we have here. So, or the text. So we're going to press Command C and Command V to paste it right on top. And we're going to go ahead and drag this down here. And we're going to go ahead and name this California. Like that. Oh, here we go. It's ostrich. There we go. Ostrich sands, something like that. And we're going to change the tracking just to make it look a little bit more interesting. We're just going to make it a little bit bigger, just like that. So 41, I'm going to just, you know, might as well put 40%. Enter, and you're going to have this. Make sure that when you track, it aligns with the left and right sides of our top text. So now we have California, everything looks good, and now it's time to add our song. I added this one that I got from Epidemic Sound or something like that. And we're going to go ahead and play this song. Let me go ahead and turn down the volume so you guys can probably hear this. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and play it, and what we're going to do here, our main goal is to match the beat to the song. Now, this is going to take some time, but you'll get the hang of it. So, I'm going to go ahead and push play. So, in the very beginning, you can see there's already a beat. So, I'm going to zoom all the way in, okay? And I know that I don't want these two to be like that. So, if I push play, I could tell that there's already a beat. So, if I push play, it's not, it doesn't match to the beat yet. So, I have to zoom in a little bit more. And you can see in the waveform that it kind of goes up here. So, and our text is on top of that. So we're gonna have to zoom in all the way actually to get this right. So you can see right here is where the song begins. So we're gonna drag that somewhere here and push play. See that? Now it matches perfectly. So if I push play, and right there, I believe, push play. Okay, so now once we've pushed play, or once the song matches once the text matches the song, this is when I want to, where it says Los Angeles, I want to go ahead, because it entered first, it has to exit first. So I'm going to drag that to where there's another beat, and then this one here, and then there. So it kind of goes in order. Oh, that one was delayed a little bit. Let's see. Let's see if we can make this a little bit better. Oh, you can tell right there. So if we just play. Something like that. I think that's right. So now if we push play and play it from the very beginning, I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Once it's, I'm going to let this render in real quick. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and push play. So that looks pretty good, except I actually want this to come here, so like that. And drag this down here. So now we've changed it, so we're going to have to edit this very quickly. So it doesn't take too much time here. So if we push play, it's just some trial and error, so. Okay, there you go. So now the song, or the beat here changes, so that's when we change when it exits. And there. So now if we play it from the beginning, that was way, way better. So now, you can tell that the text isn't centered very correctly. So we can change that by going here and just dragging this upwards a little bit. And same thing for California. You make sure you select California for the text. And now from here on, you just gotta match the beat with the song. So if I push play, you can see right here there's gonna be a jump. So we're gonna drag this down here about here and push play. You can see how it changed automatically. So that's what we're trying to aim for. Once we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and add a fade out. So for the last clip, we're gonna go ahead and right click and click show video animation, where it says compositing and it says opacity. Click the arrow and you can have a little option here. Just click and drag that down here. And the footage, the song here, we're gonna have to drag this all the way back here. Press Shift Z to make everything zoom to fit. And you're gonna have the same option here, and we're gonna make sure that this is aligned perfectly here, which is not, and right there, and that looks good. So if I push play, and that's a good way to end it. So that's pretty much how to do the film look. And if it, if it helped you in any way to make your footage look much better, then please leave a rating below. Sorry if this video was a little bit long, but I had to explain everything and why it does that and why it makes your footage look a little bit better. It actually does, believe it or not. You went from something from something like this to that. Okay, so look at this. We went from here. Okay, that looks pretty boring, right? It's the Pasadena freeway in California. I've been there so many times. So if I push play, you're gonna see that there's a huge difference right here. It just looks so much better. Again, you guys could take so much time with this and make it look even better than it is right now. As you can see how it pans and it goes up instead of just this one here, where it's just, you know, just stock like that. So you could do, as I said, you could do so much stuff with this, and I just hope you guys get creative with this and you've learned something today. I hope you learned something today, and if it did, then please tell me in the comment section below. Leave a rating below, that will be much appreciated as well. And until then, I will catch you guys on my next video. Peace out, guys.